prove you're worth keeping alive for a little while longer.
I cannot stop this ship any more than you could stop the tides.
Not good enough.
The impotent threats of a lower life form do not sway me. I will not bend to you. I was born 600,000 years ago. But a new age dawns today.
Are you trying to get yourself killed?
I already died once. All of us who swore ourselves to the cause did. My name is Zon Utlosa. I was born in the final days of the Age of Makto. Each of us took a leap of faith to cross the bridge of time and be reborn here.
Eventually, one of you will break.
You don't understand how overmatched you truly are. This craft was nothing before we imbued it with the speed required by our mission. And the Cartabula produces enough energy to drive an entire fleet of ships like this one. But when we wake the Aphelion, we won't need a fleet.
The Aphelion?
Only then will you understand the might of the Takan Empire. Reborn in this time.
And when you wake the Aphelion, what are you going to do with it?
Anything we want.
Come on! This goes from bad to worse unless you do what they say.
It's coming alive.
He can't stop the ship.
Then he will. Or we cut off his hands and use them ourselves.
The moment I reduce speed or change our heading, the others will. First, they'll just resume course from elsewhere. Trivial matter. And then, they will come here. For you, this is a dead end.
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Not if they're just going to start it again.
So you believe him?
I'm not sure.
Why would you tell us all this?
I tell you, because I value my own life. When my fellow Scions come, and they will come, I expect you'll all act like the savages you are, and a battle once you. We've all died once. I don't intend to do so again. I won't touch those controls. If you want to get us killed, do it yourselves.
You fear death. There's a way to stop this ship for good, and he knows how. He just needs more pressure.
What kind of pressure?
We heard him. He'll talk. Trust me.
That's against Starfleet protocol.
You're not on a Starfleet ship. Your protocol does not apply. We take the action that will lead to our victory. Don't assume your moral code takes precedence above all others.
I get the impression you know how to make people talk. Think you can break his arm?
No, don't!
What the hell, Carter? We don't torture people. Did you forget what uniform you're wearing? What it stands for? This isn't like you.
He'll live. Isn't that what you want?
Don't you twist my words like that.
I have only just begun.
Stop, please! Wait! The warp course. Our technology is amplifying the ship's output, and it still relies on the warp cores to provide plasma to the engines. Disable those, and the ship grinds to a halt.
Sabotage.
This displays for all life forms on the ship. This is where the infiltrators are. The central artery of ship systems. Sensors, propulsion, weapons. And this is engineering.
It's deserted.
If I can get us there, can you cripple my ship? Not something I'd normally ask, but I'm coming around to it.
I got this. I'm an engineer. This is my territory.
Then we'll follow your lead.
This plan of yours has one problem. It strands us. Left out of the fight when there is a war going on.
Our fight is here, now. This is how we do the most good. For the Empire.
For the Empire.
So, Carter, you didn't beam out after all. I thought you'd escaped when we boarded. I had almost hoped you'd made it off. And Nilly's there with you too, right? It's good you two are together.
Sounds like you miss me.
We can still be friends, Carter. You just need to understand something first. You're not a fighter. I know it. You know it. That's why you're hiding. Somewhere on this ship. But the Takan Empire has so much to offer you. Think of all the knowledge lost for 500,000 years that you'd have access to. I know you want more from life, and I want to show you what you could be a part of. Not just the wonders you've already seen from us. In our time, we had the power to move stars. Carter, you have a thirst for discovery.
In case you forgot, we were a part of something. I still am. The Federation may not be perfect, but it stands for ideals that your people clearly do not believe in.
We have our own ideals. And we have our own strength. Every one of us on this crusade has fought wars more brutal and consuming than you could fathom. But I want to reach a peaceful resolution to this. Carter, we have a plan for you. And for the others, too. We don't want to have to destroy you.
You think there's some sort of compromise to be had here? After all you've done? The only end to this is when you surrender.
After all we've done? You can't think we'd give up now. We can continue this conversation in person. I'll see you on the bridge very soon.
Our comm badges. She's tracking our location with them.
If we have to use force to free our fellow Scions, there will be casualties.
We can't stay here. And we need to disable the transmitters.
Where'd you go? You don't want to talk to me?
She's trying to keep you talking.
I mean, I get it. But I'm trying to help you. You're still there. I think that's because you know we have something to offer you. And you're starting to do the math. And realizing that making peace with us is better than the alternative.
You might think you have the upper hand, but you've never gone up against the Federation. This isn't over. Got it.
Mine's done too.
Time to hit the road.
You've forgotten something. They know where we're going.
Set to stun. You're not going to shoot a guy who's unconscious, are you?
You keep getting in my way.
You already broke his arm. What more do you want to do?
I want to eliminate loose ends.
And I did that for you.
Solve the problem of what to do with him. Now let's move it.
Our coordinates match the exact location where Riker met Portal 6-3.
Unlike Riker's team, we beamed down without a problem.
It's quiet.
Portal has to know we're here.
If he won't come to us, we'll go to him. Spread out. These crystals are dormant.
Riker's report said they were glowing, that they served as energy collectors. It could be a good sign they're inactive. The Guardian of the Takan doesn't have his guard up.
This is where Portal 6-3 projected his image.
He was guarding this bridge. That has to mean something.
We'll move forward when you're ready, Commander.
Follow me. Ends here. Is it me, or did that path just disappear?
There was a path there a moment ago.
There must be an explanation.
Tetrametric pulses.
Same energy as the other Takan technology.
Most of the crystals appear dormant. What's different about this one?
Readings indicate there's a cavity in the rock right behind it.
We could try melting a hole through the wall with our phasers.
Worth a try.
Whoa!
An illusion.
I'm sure that wall was as real as the rest of them. I felt it.
It's almost like our holodeck technology, but far more advanced.
The crystals must be absorbing the energy from our phasers.
I'm picking up something. A biosignature. It's faint, but it's there.
With me.
Another dead end.
Or another illusion.
Crewman LaRue, if you would.
Duval to Resolute. Beam crewman LaRue directly to medical.
Is he okay?
He'll live.
Not all crystals work the same, it seems.
Don't fire your phasers at any crystals unless we're sure they're putting out the same pulses as before. Tetrametric. Good sign.
Commander!
Look at that.
Trust, but verify.
Indeed. Good. Tetrametric. Better go see what's different.
The way's clear. Good work, Commander.
We'll make sure it's safe.
Incredible.
The plants here are actually alive. Is this the biosignature you detected, Doctor?
No, not a match.
Tetrametric.
Then it's creating an illusion as well.
Based on the data we have so far.
Only one thing left to do.
Doctor, Be ready to beam us out if it turns out we're wrong.
Duval to Resolute. Lock transporter on away, team.
Amazing.
There's nothing like this in any Federation record.
The plans.
Barbarians.
It's him.
How dare you disturb me? I'd hoped you had enough sense to leave of your own accord, but here you stand. Fools. In another time, I would have destroyed you and your ship simply for setting foot in this place. Fortunately for you, that time has passed.
Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire. We've come a long way to meet you.
Guardian? I am guardian of nothing. The Takan no longer exist. Don't care to be reminded. If this is why you've come, then you should leave. Now.
I'll cut right to it. The Takan have returned.
Returned? My people have come back? How can that be? I've been alone for so long. If it is true, how did they return?
Taconian technology made it possible. To enable the transfer of consciousness from one being to another after physical death. We call it bioforming. A group of Taconians calling themselves Scions of the Flame used it to reawaken after hundreds of millennia.
Scions of the Flame?
Is something wrong?
I'd hardly call them Takan. They were a radical faction with beliefs outside the mainstream. Beliefs that lesser life forms should serve as vessels to ensure Takan immortality. You want me to help you destroy them. That's why you've come. You want to destroy these Scions.
You don't have to do anything except help us find them. If that's all you want to do.
I don't believe that.
They have an incredibly powerful energy source they call the Cartabula.
These Scions have the Cartabula.
And they've used it as a weapon against us.
I will speak with you alone.
What do you... Where are we? Where's my team?
They're safe where we left them. That the Scions have stolen the Cartabula is deeply concerning. And to be honest, I'd rather speak with you alone, John Rydick. Your colleagues don't know what it means to be the last of one's kind. You and I are remnants of fallen civilizations. The Kobliad, the Takan. One dying, one dead. Our species could not be more different, but we both know the meaning of loss. The others wouldn't understand. It's beyond their ability to comprehend.
We're more alike than you might realize, in that we accept the inevitability of loss.
If only you understood the glory of the Takan Empire's past. Tell me, why spend your days away from your own people when so few of them are left? Why live your life working for this federation to which the Kobliad do not even belong? and submit yourself to their authority. It makes no sense. Not by my logic.
The Federation isn't an authority to be obeyed. At its heart, it's a set of principles meant to ensure the survival and safety of all species, regardless of their origin. You told Riker you'd wait until you were needed. You're needed now. We need you.
As much as it pains me to learn the Cartabula has fallen into the hands of the Scions, my services are not up for offer. To be chosen as a portal was to give one's entire self to the cause of protecting the Takan Empire. I left behind everything I know, and now you want me to turn against my own people. A betrayal of my oath, and everything I vowed to protect.
These aren't the Takan you knew. They're a facsimile. They're imposters. And they tarnish the Takan name.
We faced these questions in my time as well. What you call bioforming, we thought of as a marginal science. But if these reborn Takan plan to restore the Empire, is that a disaster to be avoided? Takonian technology is so advanced, it could save millions of species currently on the brink of extinction, including your own. And at the price of a small few, think of how the many could benefit. Instead, it sounds as if you are reacting out of fear before you have a full understanding of what's at stake. I don't think you've given this full consideration. You may have more to gain than to lose.
The Takan Empire is gone. It had its opportunity and proved unable to survive. There must have been a reason the Takan have faded to a distant memory. It ran its course. And those of us who are here now deserve to choose our own fate.
You said the Takan vanished for a reason. I cannot claim our empire was without sin. I'm curious to see these Scions masquerading as true Takan. So I will go with you, and we shall find them. But when we do, I will judge them myself as a guardian of the Takan, to understand their true intentions, for better or worse.
It's certainly your right to make your own decisions. I won't tell you otherwise.
Very well. I'll return.
Commander!
Hold your fire. I'm all right. He's coming with us.
We assumed the worst.
She's perfectly fine. Now then, shall we?
All right. We can beam up your... Do you have any equipment or tools?
Whoa.
This is all I need.
Away team +1. Ready to beam up.
For warp cores. That's interesting.
Redundancy. If one goes down in battle, we can still operate.
Makes this more difficult, though.
This ship can maintain warp with half the cores offline. We'll need to disable 3 of them.
Where are the engine schematics? Power flow routing charts.
We're soldiers, not engineers. I thought you would know what to do.
You're in good hands. We can do this.
I trust that you can.
You at least know where we should start?
This way.
What are we dealing with? Cores are running really hot. Makes sense, since they've been producing at max output since we left Hotari space.
No ship can run for very long like that. Not before a catastrophic failure hits.
It's right on the edge. We just need to figure out a way to give it a push.
Bet that console down there could tell us a few things. Whatever we do, we need to make sure the Takan can't undo it.
So we need a way to permanently disable the reactors that won't destroy the ship and kill us all in the process.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Warp core ejection. So the question is, how do we make it happen? The reactor coolant system is operating at emergency containment levels.
It's just barely keeping the temperature in check.
Maybe we can use that. If it gets this high, their system considers a reactor breach imminent. Like we saw on the bridge, all 4 warp cores are operating at full capacity. The safety protocols don't look much different from the Resolute. Breach protection. Reduce output, command override. Cease matter, antimatter flow, command override. Emergency warp core ejection. Computer control.
Even command functions can't override one of the most crucial safety measures.
So the protocol's still active. That's good. Looks like if sensors show a core is about to rupture, the computer will eject it automatically rather than risk a breach.
So we need to increase the warp core's temperatures.
If we destroy the coolant regulators, there won't be anything to keep these reactors from going over.
And it will trigger the ejection. Let's peel these suckers open. I'll take that one.
I'll take the one next to it.
The second you two start dumping cores, the Takan will know we're here.
We'll be vulnerable. Stuck in one place while you work.
We will have to make a stand.
Well, here's the good news. I'm at my best when I'm under pressure.
We'll barricade the door. Work quickly.
We might not have our tools, but our phasers can do this in a pinch. We better get this right. If we foul it up and this whole thing goes boom... We don't know how much damage that cartabula will do if we accidentally crack it open.
Look on the bright side. If it all goes to hell, we won't be around to see the fallout.
That certainly inspires confidence. It's not a Starfleet warp core, but the coolant regulator has to be in here somewhere.
There you are. Time to heat things up.
Warning. Warning. Warp core output at critical level. Ejecting core.
Okay, now they're definitely gonna know we're down here.
Warp core output at critical level. Ejecting core.
Just one more to go.
They're here!
They're cutting through the door. We don't have much time.
same as before. We just gotta...
Would you mind not shooting at the matter-antimatter reactor?
I'll cover you.
What? No!
Get the warp core done, or we're all dead.
Warp core output at critical level. Ejecting core. Warp drive disengaged. You did it.
You got another way out of here?
I think so.
Tosca, can you climb?
I'll see you on the parade grounds of Cirella, my friend. You want me? I'm right here. Not you too.
Calm yourself, child. It will all be better soon. Wake up, Manka Umet.
match this. I do. I want to remember every moment when I make them pay. But this isn't the end. I will avenge Itasca. Swear to me, you will join me in this.
How about we try to save her?
That's a dream.
I swear, we will make them pay for it.
There's so much I want to ask you.
There's so little I can tell you. I'm a portal, not a scientist, but I'll certainly do my best. I can only assume this is one of your older starships. One would think, given the importance of your mission, they might send a ship of a more recent vintage. But, apparently not.
The Resolute is primarily a research vessel, if that's what you mean. Not a warship.
Although she has been known to hold her own in a fight.
Against what?
Something wrong?
Not at all. The galaxy has grown more diverse since the days of the Tikhon Empire.
Because you conquered everyone who didn't look like you.
To the contrary. Most lesser civilizations willingly joined the Empire to enjoy the benefits of an advanced way of life. But that expansion came with its own set of problems, so I admire your ability to diversify without creating conflict. That was always our challenge. And perhaps, ultimately, our downfall.
The Federation prides itself on its inclusiveness. I'd say it's one of our greatest strengths.
As the Vulcans say, infinite diversity in infinite combinations.
Interesting. I'd be curious to meet one of these Vulcans. If this is the best you have, then so be it. To locate this scion, Galvan, I'll need full access to your ship's systems.
Full access?
Huh. You must be out of your mind.
No, I'm right here, completely in my mind. Given this is merely a research ship, I won't be able to find him without it. Perhaps I should have made that clear up front. I'll need to make certain modifications.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Excellent.
Solano's gonna flip when he hears this.
I'll see you on the bridge. Captain Solano, I'd like to introduce you to Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Tikhon Empire.
Pleasure to meet you, Captain.
Likewise. I can't say I've ever met a portal before. There is no modern equivalent. Not within the Federation, at least.
He's been kind enough to agree to help us find Galvan.
I am at your service. To whatever extent I can be of help.
If nothing else, I'm sure you're happy for a change of scenery. You spent 600,000 years at your post. That certainly takes an uncommon level of dedication.
We all have our duty.
Of course. But I'm curious. You were stationed there in preparation for what, exactly?
Any and all threats to the Empire.
An empire that no longer exists. Which suggests you weren't very successful.
You said you needed my help. I didn't come here to be insulted. Perhaps that was a mistake. I'd be happy to return to Delphi Ardu at any time.
You'll have to forgive him. I'm sure he meant nothing by it.
I know exactly what he meant. His disrespect speaks for itself.
I'm merely curious where your allegiances might lie. And clearly it's with the Tikhon.
Yes, Captain. You have found me out and exposed my true loyalties. To the Tikhon, not to the Scions of the Flame. who do nothing more than tarnish us in name and reputation and don't deserve to be called Tikhon. That's why I'm here. And if you'd be so kind as to give me access to your ship's systems, we can get on with it. And you can stop wasting my time.
Access to our systems? That's completely out of the question. Tell me that's not what you promised. We're vulnerable enough as it is. And now we're supposed to give him access to everything? Ridiculous.
Captain, I know it's a risk, but right now it's our best shot at finding Galvin and that ship.
Here she was, naive enough to believe it wouldn't be a problem. Little did she realize the levels of ignorance and incompetence she was up against.
If you're not enjoying your visit to our ship, we'd be more than happy to let you wither away back on your pathetic little rock.
Captain?
You clearly do not appreciate the magnitude of the threat the Scions pose. So myopic is your focus on your own ego. I will not be leaving until they have been found.
Commander Rydek, a word.
And to think, I waited 600,000 years for this.
You realize this puts me in an incredibly difficult position. I was against seeking him out from the start, but now, to give him access to our systems? It's insane. And you somehow expect me to believe his allegiance is with us? You heard what he said in there. There's no way we can trust him.
I might otherwise agree, but you're missing the most important point. He's a Tikhon, and he may be loyal to the Tikhon, but not to the Scions of the Flame. He's against everything they believe in. You heard what he said.
There's too much at stake to be wrong on this.
We sought him out for a reason. To help him find our missing crew, Galvin, and those Elydian ships. This is the plan we agreed to with Ambassador Spock.
Which I never liked. But here we are. You know what this mission means to us. Not just for the Federation, but for me personally. I can't afford another screw-up. Losing the shield algorithms was bad enough. This could be the end of my career.
We'll take every precaution to make sure we get what we need. I'll keep a close eye on him myself.
I appreciate that. I'm going to trust your instincts on this one. I just hope you're right. For both of our sakes. Let me know if you find anything.
We're good. You may begin.
I will, of course, have to make a few modifications.
What kind of modifications?
To find Tikhonian technology requires Tikhonian technology. If this Scion Gallivan modified his ships, then I must do likewise to yours. The galaxy is nearly infinite in size and complexity. This may take a moment.
How long will
I
it
found
take?
something. There you are.
What is it? Galvin?
Someone is using Tikhonian technology. I can't get the precise bearings, but it's located in the Palisades cluster.
I'll let the captain know. Rydek to Solano. I think Portal may have located Galvin.
I'll be right there.
I'm getting all kinds of interference. Almost impossible to lock on the energy signature.
Where's he hiding?
In the Palisades cluster.
Interesting. Can you lock in on the location?
Not until you get me closer.
Lieutenant Handar, set a course for the Palisades cluster.
Aye, Captain.
Well, I suppose I owe you an apology. You were right after all. That's what I get for questioning the advice of my first officer. You always have my back.
They say the true measure of a leader is being able to admit your mistakes. So thank you.
Next time I'll do a better job of listening. Nice work. Let me know if you find anything more.
Will do. What's wrong?
I didn't want to say anything until I was certain. But the reason for the interference is simple. There's a Taconian device on this ship being used to block the signal. Whoever planted it was exceptionally clever. They knew how and where to hide it. But they have underestimated my abilities.
Engineering.
Take care of the Taconian device, and I can find Galvan for you. It's designed to interfere with all transmissions, or at least delay and confuse the effort to find Galvan's ship.
Hold on. My understanding is that Takan technology requires a Takan to operate. Is there another Takan on this ship?
The Scions could have someone on the ship, doing everything they can to stop us from finding Galvan.
Don't worry, I'll get this fixed. We're going to find that ship. Engineers would have found this device already if it wasn't well hidden. Better to rely on my tricorder. There's a lot of noise in here. I should scan the device putting out the most radiation to filter it out. That's better. Most other radiation sources in here are well contained. There's definitely tetrametric radiation nearby. But even with the gain boosted, it's getting drowned out by other sources of radiation in here. A little bit of harmless radiation leakage here, but enough to mask the tetrametric pulses. Easy enough to cancel out. There's still something drowning out the tetrametric radiation. I need to find it so I could filter it out as well. Jeffrey's tubes thump harmonics from all over the ship. I'll filter that out. There we go. I'm getting a clear tetrametric signal now. Found it.
Excuse me, do you belong here? Commander Rydek. I'm sorry, I didn't know it was you.
Paul. Calloway, right?
Yes, You know, it means a lot that you remembered. What, are you doing back here? I don't mean to pry, but first officers don't usually go digging around engineering compartments.
Just a routine systems check. We've been having problems with our comms lately.
Ah, that's news to me. I haven't heard anything about it.
Probably because the comm system isn't working. Have you seen anyone else in here recently that might seem out of the ordinary? Maybe someone who doesn't work in engineering.
Not that I can think of, but I can ask around. I'm here almost all the time, but maybe someone else noticed something?
That would be great. Just be discreet about it. I don't want anyone to be alarmed.
Discretion is my specialty. Well, I'll leave you alone already. Oh, come to think of it, That Hotari woman was down here earlier with Dr. Duvall finishing the last of the bioscans.
Tylus?
That would be out of the ordinary, right?
Thank you. Maybe Tylus saw something. Tylus, can I speak to you for a moment?
Of course. Is something wrong?
There's something happening. I may need your help. This is important.
How can I help?
When you were in engineering with Dr. Duvall, did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Or anyone?
Not particularly. Why?
I found this, hidden in a compartment down there.
That's Draconian technology. Does that mean there's a scion on board? But Dr. Duvall bioscanned everyone. Every deck, every crew member. I've seen the logs. She couldn't have been more thorough.
Someone evaded detection and planted that device.
Which would mean they've been with us this whole time. Watching, listening.
All the more reason why we have to find them.
It could be anyone.
That includes both of us.
You want me to get scanned? Better to know for sure, right? I'll admit, I was around the Scions as much as anybody.
I would feel more comfortable if you did.
I understand.
Clear.
Now it's your turn.
Sure.
Clear.
Don't sound so surprised.
You spend plenty of time with the Scions as well. You never know.
Let's get to it. The search starts in engineering. Whoever planted the device most likely did it within the last few hours. So I'll start by running a scan, tracking everyone who came through engineering over the last day, in reverse order.
This could take forever to sort through the number of people that were in engineering.
I'll filter out the duplicates.
That helps.
Filtering for outliers. People who don't work in engineering.
Now this is manageable.
Cross-referencing this list with everyone who's traveled to Hotari. Let's see who's left. No, this can't be right.
What?
Of the people that went to Hotari and visited engineering, it could only have been Captain Solano.
According to this, he was here while you went down to Delphi Ardu 4. Which would have been the perfect opportunity. And no one would question him. He's the captain.
As much as I hate to admit it, assuming it's true, it does explain why he was so opposed to getting help from Portal.
And he made several trips to Hotari, so they had plenty of opportunity to target him.
What happened when Dr. Duvall bioscanned Captain Solano?
That's just it. She never did.
How is that possible?
Something more urgent would always come up. There was nothing she could do. But performing a bioscan is the only way to be absolutely sure.
That's not going to be easy. First thing I need to do is get this device to Portal.
Be careful. And good luck.
I'll need it. I've found the device.
Interference is gone. I have located Galvin's ship more precisely. He's in the Usonia system.
So then it worked.
This whole region was one of the most sacred for the ancient Tikan. What many consider the birthplace of our civilization. See these comets and planetoids in the outer orbits? Based on their current trajectory, that's Galvan's destination. And legend tells us it's the location of what was once our largest arsenal. Not that we needed it in the late stages of the Empire, but it was there as a precaution nonetheless.
What kind of weapons are in this arsenal?
It's difficult to know what would have survived from the time of the Empire, but be assured that the damage they have done so far by altering your current technology will be minuscule compared to proper Draconian firepower. If Galvan and the other Scions secure the arsenal, they will become extremely dangerous. My people had such power at the height of the Empire. The Takan were as gods, keeping absolute control over countless worlds. I must speak with them directly. However, the presence of this device is worrying. It's highly likely it was placed here by a Scion, hidden among your crew. And it is unlikely this interference device was the Scion Saboteur's only trap. If we reach Galvan and the Saboteur cripples your ship, we will be at their mercy. Even my powers will not be able to protect us. Do you know who it is? They may well do more damage if left alone. Time is not on your side.
I'm fairly convinced they bioformed Captain Solano.
I knew there was a reason I didn't like him. That explains it. Bioforming was so rare in the time of the Empire that I am not able to detect if it has taken place. Proof of your claim is something you will have to produce yourself.
Then we have to bioscan him. I'll talk to Dr. Duvall.
It's quite the claim. Last time we spoke, you called this kind of talk mutiny.
I wouldn't be asking you if there was any other possibility.
It would explain why Solano has been too busy for a bioscan lately.
As the ship's doctor, you have the authority to declare him unfit to serve.
If you're right, this is the worst-case scenario. Challenging your own captain is a tall order. Are you sure you're prepared for this? If you fail, that's it. The end of your career. Maybe your life.
I don't know if I would be on my own. But with your support, I'm sure we can do it.
That smooth talking may come in handy. I'm in. But we can't pull this off with just the two of us. I technically have the authority to make Solano undergo a scan, but in reality, he can and will refuse to do it. We need at least another member of the senior staff to support your claim. Or this could all blow up in our faces. You better think long and hard about who you can trust.
Down to one reactor. Thought we'd be stopped dead. At least stuck at impulse power.
The Takan enhancements must be able to brute force limited bursts of warp output.
Yeah, but they won't get to wherever they were headed at this rate. They're just limping along now.
So where does that put us?
Maybe I can answer that. I got the ship's heading.
They've changed course. Drastically.
Looks like they're headed here. Usonia system. They might stop there.
Can we use the Zeldi's comms to signal your fleet?
Comm systems are locked.
Grab hold! Short warp jumps. They're going to tear it apart.
Zeldi is still made by a Lydian hand. Spires. Tikan corruption. Whoa.
We just gotta stay safe until Starfleet can find us.
Your people. Is there somewhere you go when you die?
Life after death? No. On my homeworld, some people think they can cheat death in a way by joining with the Trill symbiont. But that's not a life to me.
What about you? Is there another plane of existence for you? With every passing battle, as I get older, I think about it more.
I think there's just no way for us to know what happens after we die.
Really?
Maybe there's something more, maybe not. But I can't discount the possibility. You can't prove a negative.
Then maybe you can understand this. My people have a special journey. When Elydians die, we rejoin our comrades, family, and ancestors.
On the parade grounds of Cirella?
That is just one part of it, but yes. Death is not the end for us. So, even if some part of Itasca remains, by letting the Tikan use her body, at best we are delaying the inevitable next step for her. At worst, we are leaving her as a prisoner in her own mind. You want to save the transformed. So do I.
Now that I've seen it happen, does it make me a hypocrite to say he has a point? What if we can't get them back? We can't leave them like that, right?
I think Itasca would want to be released.
What you're talking about is mercy. And that's an honorable goal.
That seems easier to live with than being driven by revenge. I had a sister, a twin. It's very rare among the Trill.
You never told me that.
She was one of the youngest hosts to ever join with the symbiont. A sentient creature that lives in our body. It's considered a great honor. The symbiont can bring centuries of knowledge and wisdom to the host. But sometimes, the symbiont personality suppresses the host entirely. My sister was the closest person in the world to me. I knew she would be different after joining. But she drew more and more distant. The room we shared growing up was foreign to the both of us. And eventually she, or whoever she'd become, cut me out entirely. So I left for Starfleet and swore I'd never go back. I couldn't stand the thought of seeing her. Someone who looked like my sister.
You should try to see her again. When all this is over. Maybe things have changed for her after you've been away for years.
I couldn't go back. Not now.
You remind me of Itasca.
I do?
Bonds are not made by what runs through your veins, but the blood you spilled together. Itasca was my family in that way. I want you to know there is nothing I won't sacrifice to win this fight. But if we're lucky enough to survive, I'd be honored if you'd count me as one of your tribe. As Itasca was.
Even a couple of engineers like us?
You are many things.
I'll take you up on that.
Same here.
They don't cease this madness.
What is this place?
Is that the Veskar?
Another one of yours?
Not anymore. They've corrupted it, just like the Zeldi.
Now there are two ships. Did this just get better or worse?
It certainly doesn't bode well for the crew of the Veskar. So many lives stolen.
It's worse. This is definitely worse.
Thanks. That really helps.
This doesn't look like the Aphelion. What are they doing here?
You don't think they're just meeting their buddies?
Maybe, but then why are their buddies here?
Prepare for transfer.
The storm! It's back! What happened?
Hold on. Scanning. Geometric radiation is dropping. Zeldy's dropped to minimal power levels.
It's running off just the one warp core now.
That means...
They've sent the Cartabula to that other ship.
Something wrong, Captain?
No, nothing's wrong. In fact, I was just going to call for you. I'm needed down in engineering. The bridge is yours.
Commander Armand, a word, please.
Of course, Commander. How can I help?
The captain may have been compromised. I have reason to believe he's been bioformed, and is now actively working against us.
Based on what?
Someone is sabotaging the mission. They planted a Taconian device in engineering. Captain Solano was in engineering while we were on Delphi Ardu 4, and he purposely evaded Dr. Duval's bioscan.
In your short time as first officer, you've always followed the captain's orders and protected his interests, even if you did not personally agree. I can't imagine you'd go against your own captain lightly. Thus, I'm inclined to believe you. As stunning as your claim is. Why trust me with this? There were others you could have confided in. I may not have been the best choice.
In our every interaction, you've been level-headed and kind. Something this sensitive? There was no one else I could turn to.
I would be flattered were the situation not so dire. When we first met on the starbase, I told you about the accident that took so many of our crew. You told me it could have been worse. The captain's been bioformed into our enemy. That may indeed be worse.
We will survive this. I have Dr. Duval's support for relieving him of command. Once we get a bioscan of Captain Solano, we'll have the proof to make that happen.
He'll never agree to it.
He'll have to, if we confront him publicly. On the bridge. I need you to back me when he tries to refuse it.
You realize this will make you captain, don't you? Are you prepared for that? Especially under these circumstances. In this way.
I hoped I would be captain someday, but I didn't want it to happen like this.
Sometimes greatness is thrust upon you, as they say. You have my support. When do we act?
Now. Dr. Duval is already on the bridge. She'll ask Solano to undergo a bioscan. Then we confront him when he refuses.
Into battle we go.
It's now or never.
Captain Solano.
Commander Rydek, we need to talk about... Doctor? What brings you to the bridge?
Just a bit of housekeeping. You owe me a bioscan, Captain.
I don't have time for that right now.
It will only take a moment. I can't put this off any longer.
You can, and you will. All you'll find is that I'm quite reasonably under stress given the circumstances, and you aren't making it better. I'll find you in sickbay when I'm good and ready. Or, if you're gonna stand in the way of the mission, I can find you in the brig instead.
It's merely protocol, Captain. All officers that touch alien soil have to be bioscanned.
I know the protocol. It's not more important than chasing down these Draconian marauders.
Commander Rydick is right, Captain. The safety of the ship is of paramount importance.
What is this?
We need you to comply with the scan, Captain.
That's enough. Drop this. All of you. I'm giving you a direct order, Commander Rydick. Stand down and go back to your post. Now. Do not make me tell you again. I've been a starship captain since before you were in the Academy.
This is for your own good, Captain.
This is for your own good as well. Security to the bridge. Arrest Commander Rydick. Take her to the brig.
On what charge?
Conspiring with the enemy and mutiny.
Wait. With all due respect, Captain, Commander Rydick deserves the chance to defend herself.
You have no say in this, Commander Ermont. Sit down.
I will not.
This is not Captain Solano. He's been bioformed. He's a scion.
You're out of your mind.
She can prove it.
He sabotaged our efforts to track Galvin with this. He planted it in engineering while we were down on Delphi Ardu 4.
Lies! Perpetrated by the only Takan in our midst, Portal 6-3. He's actively trying to divide us from within.
Captain Solano has refused to be bioscanned because he knows it will reveal he's a scion.
Take her to the brig, or I'll do it myself. Oh!
Wait! Stand down! That's an order!
This is outrageous. What is happening? Someone needs to make sense of this right now. Or we're going to run out of places to stash prisoners.
I can prove I'm right if you just give me a chance. If I'm wrong, then I will face the consequences.
I can't believe this is happening.
I'm going to settle this once and for all.
Commander Rydick was right. Captain Solano has been compromised. He's been bioformed into a Takan.
As the Chief Medical Officer of the USS Resolute, I am relieving Captain Zachary Solano of command.
Take him to the brig.
That could have been so much worse. I hope you're all right.
I'm fine. Are you okay?
It hardly seems real. All I can think right now is that I will miss the captain. I've known him for so long. To lose him like this, it's...
We don't have time to grieve. There's too many people counting on us.
Some things never change.
Set course for the Usonia system. Maximum warp. It's time to face Galvin.
Yes, Commander. Sorry. Captain. On your command.
Make way.
But with the algorithms compromised, they may not do much.
Captain, that other Elydian ship is here.
The Zeldi?
We're outnumbered.
Captain, your orders.
Evasive maneuvers.
Aye, Captain.
Veskar's warp engines are powered up.
Our warp engines are offline.
That must have been their goal. They didn't want us to chase the Veskar.
According to my readings, they also took the Cartabula with them.
They're not breaking off. We have to destroy the Zeldi before it destroys us.
Diaz and Edsalar still over there?
You'll need to evacuate.
Come on.
I almost have it.
They gotta know we're here. Hurry! You got it?
Got it. Diaz to Resolute.
We read you, Diaz.
This is Ermot. It's good to hear your voice. Is Edsalar? Is she with you? Everyone wants to know.
Yeah, we're both here. We're both okay.
Very good, Petty Officer.
Can you get us out of here?
I can't transport you out while the Zeldi's shields are up. Our phaser fire won't even get through. Is there another way off that ship?
We'll find a way.
Whatever you do, you'll have to be quick about it. Because we can't give you much more time. We can't evade the Zeldi forever.
Understood. Diaz out. We're gonna have to get out of here the old-fashioned way.
Lydian ships have no escape pods.
We can leave out that cargo bay we transported you before. But then there's the vacuum of space to contend with.
Those freight containers. Maybe we could use those to make an escape pod?
Is that even possible?
We're gonna make it possible. Unless you have a better idea.
Let's go.
I've polarized the hull plating. That should allow us to take a few more hits. Enemy phaser impact dissipated.
Heading, Captain?
Attack pattern Delta. Target ventral power couplings.
Aye, Captain.
Zeldi, in range.
Fire!
Zeldi's shields down to 82%.
We're doing damage, but they're hitting us right back. We'll run out of hull before we penetrate their shields.
Perhaps I can be of assistance. I can modify your impulse engine to amplify their meager output and avoid more of their attacks. But I will need full access to your propulsion systems.
That goes against dozens of Starfleet regulations.
Not a security risk if the alternative is destruction.
To me, it's simple. You can take this beating and prove me weather. Or will you put your trust in me? I've left everything behind for you. The least you can do is put your faith in me.
Commander Ermot, give portal access to the propulsion systems. You're going to have the ship in your hands. Don't let me down.
This will take a moment.
Your ship has let up its fire.
That gives us some time.
All right. One of these freight containers should do the trick.
Be quick.
We need one big enough for all of us to fit inside. Something we can make
Enough room for the
airtight.
big guy.
Damn it.
No way, this
Not
will
this
work
one.
in a vacuum. Oh, here we go. This'll work.
That's great, but it's not airtight yet.
No problem. We'll just seal it up.
This container is extremely heavy. Even with the containment field open, it won't leave the bay quickly. I'll find something to accelerate our exit.
Glancing blow. Very little damage.
I cannot keep this up for long.
Their phaser banks are recharging. Now's our window. We have to strike back.
I agree.
Their next barrage could be our last. Better make this count.
Target their weapon systems. Take the teeth out of their bite.
That could make them run. Just like the Veskar, we'd lose Diaz and Etzelar again. Hit their engines. We've already lost the Veskar.
We need to protect ourselves first.
Target their weapon systems.
Hi, Captain. Firing torpedoes.
Whoa. We gotta move it now.
These will give us the push we need.
Those are explosives.
We'll ride the blast right out of here. All set.
I'll set the containment field to deactivate, and then run back. We can detonate by remote.
We'll need to seal the doors from inside the container once we do.
Before all the air sucks out of the cargo bay.
Just a few more moments.
Hurry!
What are they doing in there? Please, help me.
No. But the Khan get what they deserve.
Don't leave me to die.
I don't know. Can we really leave her?
We can't. We don't have the time. We have to seal ourselves in.
This ship has no weapons. Sidron's going to ram it into your Federation ship. Please, Aminta.
It's not her.
No. I know it's not.
Carter, we have to seal the doors.
Don't leave me.
Get this lifeboat off the ship before it can crash into the Resolute.
Come on! Hurry!
Go ahead.
We're about to exit.
We see the cargo bay containment field is deactivated.
Get that tractor beam ready.
Zeldy's coming about.
They're going to charge the Resolute.
Direct collision would be catastrophic.
We can't wait any longer. We have to fire.
Captain, they're almost out of there.
We need to act fast.
Prepare all torpedo banks.
Aye, Captain. Locked on and ready to fire.
Fire!
Done!
Ready?
Detonate!
Tractor beam's locked on. We have them. They'll be pulled into the docking bay shortly.
There's something else. I tracked a transporter signal to the planetoid moments before the Zeldy detonated.
Sidron.
There's a Takan structure there. It's the reason they were here. It's the reason we are here. Now.
I have to see it for myself. We'll go there together.
I had assumed as much.
Is this the Takan arsenal Galvin was after?
Legend says this region once held the sacred mysteries of the Takan Empire. Our greatest treasure. Our most fearsome technology.
I want a full security detail. Westbrook, Bridrosian, you're with me. Mr. Ermont, you have the con.
Wait. You're not the first officer anymore. The captain is supposed to stay with the ship. I'm surprised Lieutenant Bedrosian didn't raise that first.
I thought Captain Rydek knew what she was doing.
You're right. But this is too important for me to sit out. You'll just have to make sure nothing happens to me down there.
Of course, Captain.
We'll deal with the first officer vacancy when we return. Until then, Mr. Ermont?
Yes, Captain.